Dear students, welcome to our second video on biodiversity, which is a collaborative work between Mr. Shakil Acha from the MIE and Mrs. Piabakis, biology educator. Last time I left this activity as a homework for you. Let us correct it. In your textbook on page 247, the activity is about a practical work that you should have done outside the classroom, accompanied by your teacher. The class is to be divided into 5 groups, each one with a quadrat, made at school with simple materials such as wood, plastic pipes. After having delimited and selected a site to be studied, its area is calculated. Each group will then throw a quadrat in the selected area, and the different types of organisms are observed, identified, and counted respectively. So let's say after the experiment, this table has been recorded by the different groups. As you can see in the table, there is a column for species and 5 other columns for the 5 different groups of students to record their observations. Let us say that in the quadrats, the students observed the following species, that is plant species 1, plant species 2, plant species 3, and slow-moving animals such as snails and centipedes. The different groups counted the different species in their respective quadrats. For example, for plant species 1, Group 1 observed and counted 12 of them, Group 2, 8, Group 3, 12, Group 4, 14, and Group 5, 9. At the end of the experiment, an average has to be calculated in this column named average. For example, for plant species 1, a total has to be firstly done, that is 12 plus 8 plus 12 plus 14 plus 9 is equal to 55, which is then divided by the 5 different groups. And the result is 11. So 11 is the average number of plant species 1 found in that specific area. So the same thing applies for all the other species. Before proceeding further, let us view a small video on biodiversity to recapitulate the previous lesson. Biodiversity is a term that represents the total variety of all life on Earth. That's a big thing to sum up. Thousands of wild habitats, millions of different species, billions of different individuals, and the trillions of characteristics they all have. The total biodiversity of our planet is immense, which is a good thing, because the more biodiversity, the more secure all life on Earth is, including ourselves. Only when life is at its most varied and biodiverse can we hope to thrive. We may not know it, but we need forests to lock away carbon and keep the climate stable. We need millions of pollinators and billions of soil organisms and megatons of planktons to keep the food we eat in supply. We need strange plants deep in jungles for our medicines, and coral reefs and mangrove swamps to protect our coast. Our planet's biodiversity provides all these things for free. So we will stop here for today. So let's go back to our slide. So last time, in our previous video, we defined the term biodiversity and we explained the use of quadrats. And today, we are going to focus on the importance of biodiversity. In fact, biodiversity is very important to the well-being of our planet. Today, technology has invaded our life by allowing us to live longer and more comfortably, but ultimately, the human species cannot survive without its surrounding ecosystems. Each species, no matter how small it is, all have an important role to play. There are so many importance of biodiversity, but in this video and in your textbook, 3 of them have been explicitly explained. Firstly, biodiversity provides resources, such as food for humans and animals. Some common examples are fruits, cocoa, nuts, spices, meat, and fish. Resources not only mean food, but also medicines. A wide variety of living organisms, such as plants, animals, and even fungi, are used as medicines. Some are even found deep in jungles. One example is the Madagascar periwinkle, which is a plant which is used to make anti-cancer drug. Other examples include the ayapana, used for indigestion, diarrhea, and vomiting. Citronella, an infusion to reduce fever, inflammation, or even act as a mosquito repellent. Or even leeches, which are used to treat several nervous and skin diseases. Moreover, resources also include industrial materials, such as fiber, oil, dyes, rubber, timber, and paper. Biodiversity also provides ecological benefits. Plants regulate the composition of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, keeping the climate stable. The plant root systems help to prevent soil erosion by holding firmly to the soil. Microorganisms in the soil, such as bacteria and fungi, help to decompose dead organisms and waste matter, which then help to make the soil fertile. Biodiversity also provides socio-economic benefits. It enhances recreational activities such as bird watching, fishing, trekking, which is then used to promote ecotourism. It also provides opportunities for education and research. So let's sum up what we did today on the importance of biodiversity. Firstly, it provides resources such as food, medicines, and industrial materials like fiber, oil, timber, etc. Secondly, it provides ecological benefits. For example, plants regulate the composition of the atmosphere. Thirdly, it provides socio-economic benefits, which is used to promote ecotourism. So this is all for today's lesson. We will continue in our next video. Thank you.